Welcome to Spreadsheets with Dan. Welcome to a basic Excel lesson. Today we're going to look at a simple formula. We're going to use addition within inside of Excel. We're going to start looking at an in-cell addition, then we're going to look at a horizontal addition, and finally a vertical addition. With these three tools, you'll be able to use and expand and build a foundation of formulas within Excel, which you'll be able to use later as you get more complex. So let me jump right in, and what we need to do, we're going to use the data that's above. I'm going to try and populate all the blue cells with the information that we need. So we're going to start in this first row, which is in row 8, and we're going to try and populate B8, C8 and D8 with the values from above. So what we're going to do, use it in cell addition. So to start that, we're going to type equals, and then we're going to add all the values using the number keypad. So it's going to start with 850, followed by plus, then 100, followed by plus, then 500. Now we've got all three numbers, we can press enter. If we go back to the cell, it says 1450. We double check if that's correct, and we can move on. So as you can see, when you hover over the cell or you select the cell B8, you can see in the formula bar, you can see all the values that made up the calculation. Alternatively, you can also press F2, which activates the cell and you can see what's in it. Press enter to move on. And we're going to go into C8 and we're going to do the same formula. So equals 875 plus 150 plus 600. Press enter. We've now got 1625. Go on to the last cell. Equals 900 plus 125. Start again. Equals 900 plus 125 plus 700. Press enter. We've now got 1725. So that's three examples of an in-cell addition. Let's move across now to the cell F4, where we could do a horizontal addition. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start in the same way as you would do with all formulas. We're going to press equals. Now we're going to use our mouse and we're going to select B4 followed by plus, then C4 followed by plus, and finally D4. Once you get there, we're going to press enter. We can see the cell has returned 2625. We can hover back over the cell. We can see the formulas in the formula bar. We can see the cells in the formula bar. You can also press F2. When you press F2, you can now see within the cell B4, C4 and D4. B4 is blue, C4 is red, and D4 is purple, which is represented by the cells themselves. So let's do that formula again. Equals. Now we're on B5 plus C5 plus D5 and press enter. That's 375. We can do the same thing. We can hover over the cell. We can see the formula in the formula bar. Press F2. We can also see the formulas highlighted by the colours. And let's move to the last one. So we're going to type equals, and we're going to go into B6 plus C6 plus D6. Press enter, just return the value. And then finally, the last one that we need to do is the vertical. So we're going to add the formulas down. We're going to start this in exactly the same way. We're going to press equals. We're going to select F4, then plus, F5, then plus, F6, and then enter. And then that's returned the value. So as you see there, if we hover back over it, we can press F2 to have a look at the formula. We can check out the formula bar. If we've made a mistake, we can just use the delete key to correct it. I think that's a really good example of a foundational formula that as you get more experience, you can use in different things. My recommendation would be to use the examples in horizontal and vertical, where you type equals and select the cell, then plus, then the next cell and plus. I would recommend that this is something you should use. The other option, the in-cell addition, is better if you just want to do some quick maths. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed or learned something new. I always say it's never too late to learn.